who is standing in the way of Tulsi Gabbard and Bobby Kennedy? Right now, Tulsi Gabbard, it's a little unclear. Looks like Todd Young is a little bit shaky from Indiana. Looks like Cassidy is okay for Tulsi, but Cassidy is putting up a problem with Bobby Kennedy. John Curtis from Utah, and this will not be an I told you so segment, but boy, did we fight so hard to try to get Trent Staggs in Utah. If I could have just had another $20 million to deploy to get Trent Staggs to defeat John Curtis, we now have a Romney 2.0 in Utah. I went on the ground to help Trent Staggs. We campaigned in Utah. We saw this freight train coming, and I certainly hope he ends up voting the right way. We don't know yet. We don't want to judge until the final votes are cast. Susan Collins, I've always defended Susan Collins on this program. In fact, to the great anger of many of you in this audience when I defend Susan Collins, my Susan Collins contention is this. She represents a very deep blue state. Without her, we would not have a Republican senator from Maine. And finally, she's almost always there when we need her. She was there when we needed her on Kavanaugh. We did not need her on Pete Hegseth. We did not. It was kind of a performative show vote. So it'll be very interesting to see, will Susan Collins be there when we need her on Tulsi or on Bobby Kennedy? I grade on a political curve. If you're from a deep blue state, I grade it differently than if you're from Louisiana or from South Dakota or from Mississippi. Now, McConnell is just trying to do everything he possibly can to sabotage. McConnell's such a dishonest politician because for years he would always talk about how the conference needs to stay together. He would always talk about how the conference needs to vote together, about you shouldn't try to resist the conference or resist leadership. Now Mitch McConnell is resisting leadership. Mitch McConnell is actually voting differently than John Thune. I want you to think about that. That just goes to show how a dishonest fraud that Mitch McConnell has become, has always been. Showing his true stripes. He is not going to be a senator beyond when he's up for election. I think he's up this next cycle in 2026. We're going to get somebody really good in Kentucky and put this situation to rest. He's already said he's not running. That's good. We got Bill Cassidy, which is a problem in Louisiana with Bobby Kennedy. And I hope Bill Cassidy comes around. Again, we don't want to get too aggressive until we kind of know the parameters of how these people are voting. But this shouldn't even be a close call. What exactly is your red flag? It says, oh, well, he might encourage vaccine hesitancy. No. The CDC did that on his own. In fact, you can make an argument that Bobby Kennedy will actually increase people's trust in our public health authorities. I will, honestly, if Bobby Kennedy comes out after lots of scientific trials and says these vaccines are legit, that would increase my trust in the public health institutions, not this current cartel of criminals and the cabal that's currently running our public health authority. Look, we don't want to have to fight Bill Cassidy if we don't want to. But if Bill Cassidy is truly running again, the man who voted to impeach and convict Donald Trump, if he wants to be a senator ever in his future, I certainly hope for his own sake he votes for Bobby Kennedy.